Good evening. Good evening. How are you this evening? I hope you're well. I am a bit bedraggled this evening, and I'm a bit bedraggled and quite proud of it. Don't really care that my hair's been windswept today. I don't really care that I've got no makeup on and I'm doing my weekly live on a Tuesday. You see, normally, I would care and I'd comb my hair and I'd put a bit of makeup on, but it actually doesn't matter whether I do it without makeup or with makeup, with scruffy hair or without. It doesn't matter, does it? It really doesn't matter. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. So I want to talk about why we feel we have to live up to the expectations of others, the words of others, and why we dim ourselves and change ourselves to fit a construct that actually isn't us at the core as creative women. So that's a big topic, isn't it? Hi, Sarah. It's a big topic to be talking about on a Tuesday night, but hey, I like to tackle some of the big topics when I come and talk to you on this weekly show of mine. So people are dropping on now. So for those of you that do not know me and you are watching for the first time, I am Mandy Nicholson and I am the Creative Genius Consultant. I'm an artist, I'm an author, and I help creative women to launch, grow, and scale their businesses and make more money. I'm also a creative retreat owner. I've got a big story. I've punched my way into the creative space, as unusual and weird as I am, and said, I am here and I'm going to help loads of other women to punch their way through this layer upon layer upon layer of society's opinions about what creatives should be, who they should be, what they should do, what they should earn, what they should behave like, and actually smash it all down to the ground. Because, and the reason I'm tackling this subject tonight, and it might sound like, oh God, Mandy's on a rant. Yes, I am on a rant. I've just spent a week with hundreds of amazing creative women. And after that week, that 5-day challenge, which has just happened, and I've spent that time with these amazing women, I've then done a lot of phone calls with these women talking about, I'd love to do your program, Mandy, but I'm not worth it. I don't have the financial means to do it, but I also don't have the confidence to invest in myself. And there's so many layers there, and it's the same conversation so many different times with so many different women about, I've been told that I am not good enough. I have been told that I shouldn't do this because I won't make any money. I have been told that it's ridiculous for me to be thinking about starting a business from this. I've been told that I am weird and that there's something wrong with me and that they'll section me if I don't stop talking about weird stuff. Big stories I've heard over the last few days from women who have spent not just 5 minutes, let's just put it straight here, shall we? Not just 5 minutes being told these things, but potentially decades of their life being put down and being dimmed. And that's what it does. It dims us. It dims people, because when you hear this type of language on a repeat, then you start to believe it and question yourself. And you do. These women are starting to say, am I good enough? Am I good enough to be showing up and showing what I do and sharing it and expecting people to buy it? I can't make a business from this because I'm not good enough. I can't make a business from this because it's just a hobby. It's just something that you do, isn't it? Colouring in and painting on canvases and creating things. It's just something that you do. You don't get paid for it. Nobody expects to pay any money for this stuff. Unless you're a white male in the 83% that exhibit in galleries and get millions, thousands of pounds, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands and millions for their work, because they are revered by this misogynistic society called the Creative Society. So anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. But there is hope, because you can break through. And I get fed up with what these women have been through, not with the women, because they're amazing. And for me, my job is to hold up that mirror and say, look how amazing you are. Look at the work you can do that others can't do. Look at how your brain works and look at the things that you think about and the ideas that you come up with. Let me just show you how to structure that. That's kind of why I stepped into the creative space. And I was that woman myself. So that's really where I want to start tonight is, we all have a story. You've heard my story over and over again. I was that woman. I was the creative that got a proper job. And I got a proper job because I didn't think I could make any money as a creative. And I'd got my degree in art and design. And I knew I was good. But then I looked at other people and wondered how good I really was. And then my worried parents said, maybe you should get a proper job to make sure you've got money coming in and do this on the side. And it wasn't aimed at me in a negative way. It was worry, because that's what society believes. And it's time to stop believing society. So I want you to start asking yourself whether these things you think about yourself are really true, and start becoming a bit of a detective and looking for evidence that proves that they are true. These negative self-thoughts that you have, the I don't think I'm good enough. Why don't you think you're good enough? What is it that, what proof exists? What evidence exists right now that says this person is not good enough? Go and find it. Find the facts that say you're not good enough, because I'm going to pretty much guarantee that you won't be able to find facts that say you're not good enough, because I bet there's people out there who think you're amazing. I do. I see the light. I see people that have got talent and genius, and I see the light. And all I want you to do is to be able to see that light yourself. So it starts with limiting beliefs, and your limiting beliefs come from the limitations that other people put on you, that you put into a box, aren't you? Limiting beliefs are about being put into a box that says, this is what you should do, because outside of this is not easy, it's not comfortable, and you shouldn't do it because society says you shouldn't do it. That's why when I started this live, I said, you know what? Normally I put a bit of makeup on and I comb my hair, and I haven't tonight because I refuse to conform to what society says I should look like, I should behave like, I should teach like. I like to break the rules. I'm a creative and I like to break the rules. And every woman that I have just spent the week with in that group likes to break the rules. Imagine if we didn't have rule breakers. Imagine if we didn't have creatives. We wouldn't have half of the things that we take for granted, like right now in society. Not just art on your walls, but the designs on your clothes, the designs on your bedding, the designs in your living room, the designs of your furniture, your everything in your home that you look around and touch came from a creative idea. It was nothing one day and it was there the next. So why don't we automatically give creatives the credit that they are due for these amazing ideas and this amazing work that they do? Because that's too easy, isn't it? Doctors we revere, doctors we respect. Doctors have worked hard for 7 years at university and come out with a medical degree. And I'm not putting doctors down. We do respect them and we should respect them. They're lifesavers. They're not all lifesavers. Some of them aren't good, like in any other profession. But in general, they want to save lives and they want to make a difference in this planet. So does every creative. And actually, many of the creatives have studied way longer than 7 years. In fact, a lifetime to get as good as they are at what they do. Yet it's not the same as having a medical degree. And we are dimmed at every point. We are dimmed for our wacky ideas. We are dimmed for our too muchness, for our differences, from our weirdness, for our refusal to conform with dress standards. I've always been a rule breaker. I broke the rules at work. I changed the rules when I worked in the corporate world. And I think that's really important for us creatives. And I should have put the link. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put the link underneath this live. So that means I'm going to go to 5 places now and put the link underneath this live. For my freebie, The Mind of a Creative, because I've studied long and hard the things that go on in the mind of a creative, the things that we do differently to other people, the things that we think differently to other people. And there are 35 points on that list now. When it started, it was 10, then it grew to 20, and it's now at 35. And I'm sure if I sat down with it again, I could take it even further. So if you want to read something that resonates with you as a creative and says, you're not weird, you're not the odd one out. And I've said this to somebody today, what if all those people that were stood around the outside of you telling you you couldn't, and telling you you shouldn't, and telling you you weren't good enough, what if they were the weirdos and you were the one that was normal? What if they were the ones that were wrong and you were the one that was right? What if their view of the world was skewed and yours was the right view? What if you step into that power? What if you step into that creative power and own it and say, I'm the creative genius here. I am the creative genius, and this is what I do, and come and have a look at what I do, and come and have a look at my stuff. That's a big shift in mindset, and it's all about mindset. So we are dimmed by default. We end up allowing ourselves to be dimmed because we start to believe what's being said. Then that becomes habitual, and we start living that dimmed life, and we start behaving within that dimmed life, saying, I can't do this because it's never going to be successful. Yeah. And that becomes habitual, and it's really difficult. And this is where I'm like last week in my 5-day challenge with these hundreds of fantastically amazing creative women. And it's like a cork, and I've got my corkscrew in the cork, and I'm pulling, and they're going, no, I'm not good enough. And I'm pulling, and they're going, no, I'm not good enough. And it's a bit like that, and it takes time. I can't change your mind about stepping into your power in one live or in 1 week. But if today's the day that you listen to me and go, actually, that's something I'd quite like to do, then it was worth me showing up with messy hair and no makeup on and saying this to you tonight. And normally I have a real structure to my lives, and I know that I'm going to deliver value to you. I'm going to do a training, or I'm going to offer you something that you can take away today and implement in your business. Tonight, I want you to take something different away. I want you to go away and stand in front of the mirror and just look really, really hard. Look really hard at yourself until you see that creative power, because it's there. You know it's there. Deep down, you know it's there. You know you're capable. You know you can do great things. You know you have fantastic ideas that could be made into something absolutely awesome. Go and look in the mirror and write down 10 things that you really love about yourself. And do that regularly. Do it every day. Do it every day until the next 5-day challenge. Then come to the next 5-day challenge and see if you view it from a different place. That's my challenge to you tonight, following my 5-day challenge last week. And if you didn't do my 5-day challenge, or you signed up for it and you actually didn't participate, maybe it was overwhelming for you, it was too much for you, do it next time. Step into it. And you can't step into that creative power suit and pull it on and zip it up on day one. It takes time. It's one of the first things I recognized about the clients that I work with, that I needed a 12-month program, because there's no way I was going to be able to get them into marketing in the first 4 weeks without first working on that limiting beliefs, the imposter syndrome, the comparisonitis that dims all that creative power. When you step into that creative power and you accept it, you take responsibility for it and accountability for it, and you choose to live it, it shines really bright and it changes the world. It might change just a little corner of the world, but imagine all those lights, all those hundreds of lights, all switching right up to full volume at the same time, that changes the world. So don't be dimmed by the words of others. Don't be dimmed by the thoughts that enter your head. You are in control of your thoughts and you can change them, but you can't change them like that. You need to change them with consistent action. And that's standing in front of the mirror and stepping into that creative power. So after a week of watching all of those amazing women who didn't all believe in themselves, I felt it was my duty to come on here tonight and say, you are all incredibly talented. You are all amazing. And if I didn't get to meet you this time, then I'd love to meet you next time, and keep coming until the time is right. Because my job in this world was to step into the creative space. It's my mission, and make change happen for women just like you. That's my passion in this world. And I do it through what I do with my coaching business. I do it with my creative retreats here in Dalbeattie in Scotland. And remember, to do this, I took a huge risk, because there wasn't millions of people stepping into the creative space going, I'm the one, I can help you. I am the one that can help you. There was just me. And, since then, lots of people are doing, I can help you make your art business 6 figures, and it's coming on your newsfeed, and you're probably really confused. And so you should be, because it's a confusing space, the online world. And this is actually what makes the dimming even further. So don't let it confuse you. Don't look at it. Scroll past it. Don't look at it. Look at you in the mirror. Look at your power. Look at your talent. But don't look at your newsfeed. Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Do step up. Do say, I'm amazing. Do say, I've got something special to bring to this world. Yeah? That's what I want to see from you. I'll be watching you. Some of you that have been really active in the 5-day challenge and haven't joined me yet, I'll be watching your news feeds. I'll be watching your Facebook. I'll be lurking in the background, noticing the names. Sarah, that's you I'm talking to. I'll be noticing the names, and I'll be seeing what you're doing. And I want to see you out there saying, look at my amazing work. Look at my amazing work. I am a creative business owner, and I am proud. So that was my message for tonight, everybody. I have spent the whole week 5-day challenging, and then last night I did a productivity and planning masterclass, and today in my group I talked about productivity and planning, and tonight I just wanted to respect and acknowledge the amazing women that are in my network that don't quite believe in themselves yet, but that are getting there. And that's all that matters, as long as you get in there. Baby steps, deep breaths, and shoulders back and head high. And that's how I'm going to leave you tonight. I'll be back with something a little bit more trainy next week. I've not decided what it is yet. Sometimes I just rock up to this live on a Tuesday night and I don't actually know what I'm going to say until I press the live button. And then it just goes, boom, right, that's what you're doing this week, Mandy. So that's just the way it rolls here. But that's because I know what I'm doing, that I can do that. The rest of you might need a bit more planning. But thank you for being here. If you've seen me for a week and at the masterclass last night and you're watching me tonight, well done. Why you are not sick of me by now, I don't know. Have a wonderful week, and I will see you at the same time, same place next Tuesday evening. So don't miss it. I'm going to go and have a really good night's sleep now. Do the same yourself. And remember, you're amazing.